Disney sequel trilogy fans of any kind, Mando fans and Ahsoka fans, anybody who likes Favreau's take is very much welcome. We do this for love of Star Wars. If you are an EU fanatic to the point where you actually believe it's canon, you're probably not welcome either. Okay, as much as I love the EU, and as much as I believe that those stories could help the stories moving forward, they're not canon. Okay, they're interesting because they can give a screenwriter an idea of where to go. They're chock full of canonical High Vader fan information. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's have a conversation. So, Variety and Deadline Hollywood and the rest of the industry rags are reporting that Marvel movies and Indy 5 are being delayed till, hey Jonathan, until 2023. What does this mean? Well, gotta start thinking about, first off, let's talk about what people have been talking about. The IATSE strike, which is basically the crews from the guys who actually create the sets, the the artists, the grips, the best boys, the guys that put the sets together, to the craftspeople, to the costumers. That's that union. And they have not had a raise. They have not had really any benefits bestowed on them for decades. And we were told this weekend that it looked like the strike was averted. They had a tentative agreement, and then cracks started showing up. And Tom basically said that he heard from a source that Mandalorian, they stopped filming Mandalorian. They've shut down that production. Now, how long will this strike go on? I don't know, 2 days, a week. You know, what it does is it really hurts live production. Okay. And the studios have to use union workers. Okay. And really, these are skilled jobs, from electricians to carpenters, etc., that you can't just hire somebody off the street. Even craft people, okay, are, part of that. So this is a big deal. Now, is the delay for Indy 5 because of IATSE? I don't know. Indy 5, I think they're already in Sicily filming now. I've seen video to that effect. If they are, it's almost ready to wrap. Okay, they're almost ready to wrap principal photography. This could be because Disney wants, I think Disney's looking at the way the world is going to look in 2 years and thinking, we won't have this COVID shit to worry about, and we could probably get a better turn on our investment with these movies if we delay them a year. Okay, now that could be it. It could be bottom line stuff. Or, and Cameron might be onto something if Cameron's in the chat. Jump in, dude. It could be because Kennedy has gotten a 1-year contract extension to finish the movie. Okay, and that would take her into 2023. All right. She would get that, she would get her accolades, she'd get all sorts of money, her parade, her float, and whatever, and just there she goes. I don't think they need to keep her around as president of Lucasfilm for that to be a thing. Here's the thing that's interesting, and I want you guys that could be playing into a factor with Kennedy. The female head of the Motion Picture Academy, maybe somebody in the chat can I'll look that up. I just saw the article. I just saw the article. Okay. And I'm waiting. Afternoon, Carlos. I'm waiting to see what happens. She's the CEO of the Academy of Motion Pictures, and she is resigning or retiring or leaving as CEO in 2023. What a lovely job for Kathleen Kennedy to wander into. Very strange how this kind of came out today. Okay, now I'm going to tell you guys. We're not going to hear if Kennedy got her extension, and if we do, it's going to be low key. An afterthought, late at night. So because after the news comes out, after like the news day on a Friday, that's when really just stuff they don't want people talking to is usually put out there. You know, it does, and it's going to be meaningless. She's meaningless. Okay. I mean, she doesn't. Every day it looks more and more like she doesn't have any power at Lucasfilm at all. And the only reason why she's staying around is for Indy 5. Again, what is the big deal with her in Indy 5? Indy 5 is, I think, the first movie she was in. I think you're right too, Troy. But it's best to talk about all angles with all this. And the reason why is because you want people to understand and be like, have a bulwark and understand that the title is that she's got is meaningless. Head of Lucasfilm, it doesn't mean anything anymore. You can be hysterical. Oh my God, she met Daisy. She's still the head of Lucasfilm. And freak out. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, the details of that conversation were not, AJS were not revealed. They could have been talking about shoes. I mean, we don't know. They could be talking about the fact that their version of Star Wars did not take off. I'm going to say this. I think Daisy is more accepting of the fact that what she was in was crap than I think anybody. And to be honest, I think Adam Driver is too. To you Raylos, if there's a Raylo watching this, listen, bitch. Your boy, whom he has the ugliest profile of any man I've ever seen in my life. He makes Boris Karloff look like a GQ model. Okay? And I am not kidding. All right? He is just, he looks like, every time I look at Adam Driver, he looks like odds and ends that were left over, and God was like, what do I do with these? Because they didn't fit anywhere. And he got somebody like Picasso to put it together because that's what he looks like. Okay. Picasso really wasn't an artist of beautiful things. When he was young and he did beautiful illustrations, that's one thing. But when he started getting into cubism and all the rest of that stuff and making everything distorted, that's when it was like, I'm not spending money on that. Where's Monet? But as far as Adam Driver, he's not going to come back. He did not have a good time filming these movies. The set, I mean, when you look at the stories we've heard from the sets and the fact that everything was leaked all the time, the entire plot for TFA was leaked by a disgruntled employee. Okay. And the TLJ plot and, Mark not being happy, Carrie kind of powering through with a smile on her face, but she couldn't have been happy. But she also didn't have her health, so she couldn't, you know, you know, Ryan Johnson, hey, stop treating Mark this way. Okay, gotta understand, these guys in their day, Mark would never. I don't see Mark getting in anybody's face or you know, he's too much of a little bitch to tell someone to fuck off. Okay, he just is. That's Mark. However, Harrison Ford had been on that set, it would have been a vastly different outcome, because you know that guy's cachet in Hollywood is big. Okay, it's up there with Spielberg. All right. I mean, hey, you know what? You know who basically crashed Shia LaBeouf's career? Well, Shia LaBeouf, but you know who pointed him out and said he's a fucking idiot? Harrison Ford. The moment LaBeouf made that stupid comment about Steven Spielberg and Ford got wind of it, that was it. Okay, that was it. LaBeouf has been on the upside down of his career since then. Okay, you know that's just what it is. Okay, so you've got that plot leak coming out because the crew and the crew is like, this isn't Star Wars. Okay, and then of course the Rise of Skywalker, and that was just a freaking disaster. But the reason why it was a disaster twofold: a, TLJ left them nowhere to go. I mean, fucking left them nowhere to go. A, B, J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio and Kathy Kennedy. Okay, that is a disaster waiting to happen, because none of those people, and I don't care what anyone says, J.J. Abrams is the least creative person in Hollywood. He doesn't know what the F he's doing, okay? I hate to tell you. I hate to break it to you, okay? And it's really interesting to me how, that all came about. But, again, Daisy Ridley having dinner or lunch with, bony ass witch, it is not a big deal. It's not a BFD, okay? It is just, they had lunch. Who cares? Okay? That's how you have to look at it. All right? You can't look at it like it is something it's not. Okay? And the reason is because we don't know the details. You know, I was once standing next to Nancy Pelosi. Okay. I actually, sat and had breakfast at a table with Dick Gephardt. That means I'm spying on my boss, Republican, majority leader, for the minority leader and the witch? No. Means, here's the deal. I got my picture taken with Gerard Butler a long time ago. First off, I was in the best shape of my life. Okay. I had a 60 beat per minute heart rate at one time. So my cardio was like fantastic. I had 15% body fat. I looked like a freaking model. In fact, I got accused of that in New York. Everybody who saw the picture thought I was Jessica Simpson. I'm like, no. Okay. Then, of course, get a picture, and I got my arm around him, and we're just like, smiling. And, people were like assuming, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't know me from Adam's off ox. He was very polite, but in retrospect, when I saw what he was doing, he picked out this girl who had this haircut that was like 30 years too late. It was one of those, it wasn't a fro. No, it was like 1980s. It was one of those haircuts that was short, kind of like a helmet haircut, but it was curly. It was like permanent, like, and it was something you'd see, uh, in high school back in 1985. He was flirting with her. I mean, she's a single mom from Kansas. Um, and I'm looking at all this going, he's just a weirdo. Okay, he's a dick, actually. And it took me a while. I mean, I'm one of those people that I want to give people a chance. I don't like making judgments if I don't know what's going on. And he seemed nervous, but as less nervous that he was at this thing, the more he was sort of, looking around for what a girl to flirt with. It was really funny is watching a couple of the fat girls getting pissed off. But that's a long story. And I will never, ever do a fan thing like that again. Ever. You want me to help put a dinner together, to put a get together for like Echo Base or Midnight's Edge or something, I can do that like that because it's a mixed crowd. Okay. And I will make sure I'm sitting with people that I want to talk to. All right. But don't put me in charge of running a bunch of women around because it turns into a fucking nightmare drama. Okay. Where is this going? I have absolutely no idea. But suffice it to say that we're going to see something quietly going on. Okay, I said this afternoon or this morning. The book that comes out about the Sith, it was a book that was written 2 years ago. Okay, it takes people a long time to write a book, to get it edited, to get it done right, to get it to send it to the publisher so they can make it look like a book. Thanks, Troy. So that book with Palpatine, meaningless in reality. It does have the world between worlds. It's interesting that it admits that it's there. And these are different writers now. These are not the same writers. I've never seen these people's names attached to Star Wars. All right, so this is a different crew, and it's very interesting to me. As far as what is going on with Indy 5, like I said, it could be either they want to have a summer blockbuster, and for some reason they decided to push these back, the Marvel movies and Indy 5, and I'm going to say this, the reason why I think it's partially due to the IATSE thing is because it's not just Indiana Jones 5. It's Marvel, and it's several others, and you may see other studios doing this too. Okay. Interesting, because I don't really know what Disney has coming out next summer. All right. So I'm kind of like, this is confuzzled. But again, the IATSE strike might be part of this change. I don't know. What does it mean for Kennedy? I don't think it means anything. It might. It might. But the interesting note, again, is to bring up the lady who's the CEO of the Academy of Motion Pictures is leaving in 2023. And I can't think of a better place for Kathy Kennedy to end up. Can you? Can anybody? No, of course not. I can't. No one can. Okay. So this is something that I really think everyone is just going to have to. Yeah, again, we can't sit there and say they are definitely going on strike, but it looks like that the crews are walking off like Mandalorian. They closed down production there. At least that's a rumor. And of course, then we got this going on. As far as getting Indy 5, yeah, I agree, Carlos. The problem is who she is, and don't bet all your baubles on that. Okay, just don't, because that's not going to happen. I hate to break it to you, my friend, but that is not going to happen. I mean, we all know she's batshit crazy, right? Well, there you go. And she, she's going to get her accolades. And again, is she the most powerful woman in Hollywood? And I beg to differ anymore. She reached her apogee right when TLJ was coming out, and then start going straight down. And Hollywood, I don't know those people very well, but I, me, do know this. Okay, they see failure. They might not say you suck. They won't shun her at cocktail parties. She's part of the fucking club. But the fact that last summer she shopped around looking for a new place to go and couldn't find one says a lot. Now, part of it is she doesn't have streaming experience, and the studios are looking at that big time. Okay. Another part of it is they don't trust her. And I don't think they should. I'm going to tell you this. George Lucas is not a man to fuck with. And she did it. She fucked with him. Okay. I'm thinking, there you go. That's part of the problem for her. Is, you know, they know what she did to him. Kind of a big deal. Okay. So anyway, but I want to talk a little bit about this because I don't even know if they're really going to stop production, because they're in Sicily now. Okay, and I are in Morocco now, and I'm not sure what all that entails. Okay, I don't know. I don't know the parameters of the IATSE union in a North African country. All right, and that, I mean, now Cameron just came in and said JPEG is either going to take a year to fix Indy or kill it. I don't think he's going to kill it. They can't. They put too much money in this. They put too much money in this. And frankly, Harrison Ford deserves better. Maybe he'll end up going on streaming only. I don't know. I would hope not. I would hope not. What I've seen in the background pictures, even with the guys in Greek Army, hoplite configuration and costumes, and Roman costumes, Roman Legionnaire costumes, it looks like Indy walked into a film shoot. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll leave now. I mean, and I gotta tell you something. That is an Indiana Jones moment on steroids. All right, thanks, Carlos, because I'm not sure about this. I do think it does have something to do with IATSE. I mean, that's just the timing of this, all right? But I'm not, look, we haven't seen any of the rushes, okay? I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't, I look at it as it's either Disney trying to put the movie into a place where it's not facing as much competition. And, 2022 looks to be another year of insanity because we've got the congressional elections going on. And, you'll probably see the idiots, and, the other idiots in government will bring up the stick, and, that thing that we're not supposed to talk about here that people pretend they're afraid of, and You know, it's never ending bullshit, and it's always from the same fucking people. Okay. So I think it's twofold. I think that's probably due to the strike that's coming, if it is coming. B, I think, and you know, now that I think about this, the fact that Marvel movies aren't going to come makes me think Cameron's right. I don't think Chapek will kill it, but I will think he'll fix it. They'll fix it. And if they have to go into reshoots to do it, they'll do it. I don't think, and they've killed the premium thing. I don't think they'll ever do that again. I think, here's the thing about them. Oh, thank you, Misha. Here's the thing about what's going on. They've got a lot to look at as far as the numbers. If we do a day and date release, what are we getting? And we put this movie on premium. Are we going to be bringing as much money as we could if we just did a theatrical release? And I think they've discovered that the day and day release didn't really harm Black Widow. Okay, because and I'm gonna say this. It looks to me like Black Widow is better than Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi will be better than the Eternals. And I think part of the reason why Disney may be doing this is because Feige fucked up, okay? And Kennedy fucks up. And they may be looking at this, trying to figure out how they can get these, how they're going to get all this stuff resolved. And I really think that's where it's coming down to. I think Cameron may be onto something. I don't think Chapek can kill it. I don't think he wants to. But I do think that they can, let me tell you something. George Lucas always says, a movie is made in the editing room. Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. And, we've got all these scenes, we've seen pictures of Phoebe Waller-Bridge looking like she just got dragged through a tunnel of glass or whatever. But, again, pictures don't mean anything. So when you see pictures, it's like, okay, they're filming a scene. What does it mean? I don't know. What's the context? We don't know. As far as principle, how much is in the can? I would say they've been filming, and they were filming it without Harrison Ford, by the way. They've been filmed when he got hurt. They've been filming since what? Oh, look, Jonathan, Andor's already done. And Obi-Wan's already done too. I don't know about post-production, but I'm not sure. I don't know if the guys who do CGI, animation, and all the stuff that makes a Star Wars movie, I'm not sure if that's part of IATSE. I'm not sure. It might be. Okay, and then they'll have to whatever. Boba Fett's already done. So, and really, I don't think this strike is going to go that long. And yeah, hard work, you're right. They were talking about Halloween kills, right? What, it costs about $15 million to make? $90 million to market for press and ads and everything. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, so that movie has got to make at least $200 million to, I think break even. The guys were saying, and I'm like, there you go. But when you look at how cheap, No, not really. They were the ones that did Rogue One, and Rogue One was great. I mean, look, a lot of people really like to just shit on everything, and Rogue One was a good movie. By all accounts, I liked it. I think everybody pretty much was like, "This is a good movie," and it's a very interesting film when you sit down and look at it because the story is really good. And the people who did it were the British side of. Yeah, I didn't see that, Carlos, because I was walking around Hobby Lobby making plans to buy everything. Okay. Um, uh, when I looked at, um, what was I talking about now? When when you're looking at Rogue One and you look at who made that, it was a British side of Lucasfilm. Go back. Let's get in our Wayback Machines and go back to June of 2018. What did Grace Randolph report? And what did my friend Craig report? What did I report? That Bob Iger, because I'll mention this again because I don't think you heard this, had John Lasseter and Kevin Feige listen in to a conference call between Lucasfilm London and Lucasfilm California, and it turned into a fucking food fight. Okay, there's not a way you can be a Kennedy person because the people in London did a good job. They respected the OT. Okay. I don't know what the argument was about, but it was, and it leads me to a theory that I think John Lasseter was being looked at to take over Lucasfilm and Kennedy set him up. Don't doubt it. She is that person. Okay. That woman would do that. Anyway, this is getting more and more intriguing as we go along because it is exactly what it is. Now we've got it being, Indy 5 being delayed, but also the Marvel movies being delayed. I think this has everything to do with trying to assert the fact that Disney wants to make money. And if Chapek and the guys coming in after Alan Horn leaves and everything don't like what they see and realize the fans will hate it, they're going to want changes. They're going to, say, hey, we need to reshoot some of this. Okay. We could end up with an Indiana Jones version. Come here, buddy. Hey, bud. I think we're going to go for a walk after this and then go see his sister. We could end up with an Indiana Jones type thing. Or a James Bond type thing. But anyway, I gotta go because Daddy's home and I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Okay? But just think about what I said and we'll go from there. Okay? See you guys later. Have a good afternoon and a good evening. And I'll talk.